is running it down on these niggas.
Sex, drugs, money, and murder, my nigga. You know how we did it, my nigga. Still be painting them bitches, my nigga. Ripping that roll and fucking your bitches. Sex, drugs, money, and murder. 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 Niggas, they never gon' hurt you. Niggas will never will hurt you. Sex, drugs, money, and murder. Sex, drugs, money, and murder.
How the traps right, understand how to get that. Ran down on them niggas with a flip back. Knew I never seen none of nigga live like that. I was still getting stacks back. Had to fuck around getting them packs back. Niggas. Is running it down on these niggas.
Sex, drugs, money, and murder, my nigga. You know how we did it, my nigga. Still be painting them bitches, my nigga. Ripping that roll and fucking your bitches. Sex, drugs, money, and murder. 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 Niggas, they never gon' hurt you. Niggas will never will hurt you. Sex, drugs, money, and murder. Sex, drugs, money, and murder.
Got the traps right, understand how to get that. Ran down on them niggas with a flip back. Knew I never seen none of nigga live like that. I was still getting stacks back. Had to fuck around getting them packs back. Niggas.
Salute, Benzino. What's good, big bro?
Bulletz, Gotti, what up, baby?
I'm chilling, man. I've been trying to get you on the platform for a long time. I've been trying to get you up here, Benzino. I ain't gonna lie, man. That hack page, that page that I hit up, man, I didn't know it was a hack page until you said on the interview, man. Like, I sent money to the page and all that. I was like, I thought this was real. I was like, damn, I hope he ain't do me wrong, man. But then when I heard you on Talk to K, you said that's not me. That's a fake page. So I'm glad that I was able to reach you and we got this interview, big bro.
Hey, look, the nigga tried to sell me the page for what do you say, 3,700. I told the nigga in my DMs, I said, all right, meet me. I was gonna fuck that nigga up for real, yo. Whoever that nigga is a weirdo, straight fucking weirdo, bro.
I know. Yo, Zeno, man, I just want to give you your flowers, man, because I looked up to you, man. I looked up to what you did with the Source magazine. I respect your hustle. Everything. And you a Cancer just like me. So, you know, my birthday June 30th, so I understand that Cancer hustle and how we move. So I always respected about you. I respect how you was able to get in the game, get those deals like with Def Jam, Tommy Boy, and how you finesse the industry. And a lot of dudes don't give you your flowers because you was the first one getting the one and done deals and cash it out on a big bag. So I always say, man, salute to you for that, man, because you taught a lot of us how to do that, like just be independent and still had the distribution from the majors and still cop out, get that bag and get another deal, cop out. And that's one thing I respect about you, Zeno. You really respect
bro,
you doing that.
You did your homework, Bulletz. Damn.
Yeah, I did, man. I'm telling you, I've been studying you for a long time, Zeno. So you already know, man. I've been a fan, man.
Come on, man. Let's go, my nigga. I'm ready to go. You know, I've been fucking with you. You know what I'm saying? I seen you on Clubhouse. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Young nigga doing his thing in the media. So once I seen you in the DMs, I said, yeah, come on, let's knock this shit out. I really got until 9 o'clock, so we got an hour. Let's go.
Okay, let's go. So, yo, Zeno, man, I like to say, man, how it all started for you, like being from Boston, you know, the whole rap thing. I heard you tell a story, but, you know, at least tell the people, you know, how it all started for you in Boston, man.
All right. So, you know, Boston, so, of course, it all started with my mother and father, you know, bless my mother. And my father, Schnapps, whose birthday was a couple of days ago. Shout out to Schnapps.
Shout out to Schnapps.
So, you know, my father was heavy in the streets, you know what I'm saying, fucking with the mob, the Italian mob in Boston, you know what I'm saying? Made a real name for himself in the whole New England area. You know, he was holding down New England. And, you know, the mob is like Providence, Rhode Island, Boston, Mass. Like, you know, like they had shit on lock, you know what I'm saying? Still got shit on lock, you know, in certain areas. So, you know, he was coming in and out of jail, you know what I'm saying? I was born like in Roxbury, then in the Academy Homes Projects section of Boston. And, you know, like my pops was in and out of jail, but I didn't look at him like that. My pops was like a real smooth dude, always fresh whips, fly, smelling good. And just, you know, the whole city just loving him and the way he carried himself. Like everybody, they called him Tito. So everybody loved Tito, you know what I'm saying? And I used to watch him. I I used to study him, man, and
Yeah.
you know, everything about him I just loved about it. You know what I mean? Growing up, my mother and my father's Puerto Rican. You know, I'm Puerto Rican and black. My mother's Cape
Yeah.
Verdean. So
Okay.
my mother, you know, came from Cape. You know, Cape Verdeans back was when they first started migrating. Now Cape Verdeans are
Yeah.
islands off of the west coast of Africa.
Yeah. Fact.
And they migrated to Massachusetts. A lot of them, well, New England, but a lot Massachusetts and Rhode Island,
Yeah.
but really Massachusetts, Cape
Mm-hmm.
Cod. So,
Yeah.
so really, you know, not too many other places had Cape Verdean people. So there's a
Yeah.
lot of Cape Verdean people, Massachusetts. My mother was one of them. My dad, his whole family from New York. My dad was born in Brooklyn. Yeah,
Okay.
he was born in Red Hook, Brooklyn, and then you know what I'm
Okay.
saying. You know, he came met my mother in Boston, and you know, man, it was like pretty much, man, like growing up in Boston, it was hood, it was
Yeah.
projects, it was hood. At a young age, necessarily, I didn't get to
Mm-hmm.
see the racism because I was so young. But
Yeah.
once I was at a certain age and I got to witness busing was
Yeah.
like segregated, like we was all segregated, and
Fact.
they was trying to desegregate it and
Yeah.
and have black kids go to better schools and better areas, but they were all white.
Yeah.
So the white people wasn't having it. They would
Fact.
they would try to turn the buses over, stone the buses. It'd be thousands of white people out there with little kids, 5 years old, sticking the middle finger up to all the buses. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
they want to keep niggas in the hood. They want to keep niggas in the schools in the hood. They didn't want us to go to the better schools that were out.
Yeah.
Real racist. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Fact.
You know, but the Bean,
Yeah.
Boston was like a place where it still had Roxbury, Dorchester, and the South End, and that's where Black Boston. We had a culture like every other
Yeah.
city, like that. That was Black
Yeah.
Boston,
Yeah.
and you know we had a culture. You know, we had our black libraries, our
Yeah.
African arts and bookstores, and you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Niggas was
Fact.
able to come out and fuck with each other. You know,
Yeah.
socialize. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
So you know, I would go back and forth to New York. I'd be shipped to New York, to the Bronx, to Brooklyn.
Mm-hmm.
My grandmother lived in Brooklyn. My Puerto Rican grandmother, God rest her, Eloisa Torres.
Mm-hmm.
She lived in Flatbush. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I would go over there, and then my grandfather lived on Cedar Avenue. You know what
In
I'm
the
saying?
Bronx.
In the Bronx, right
Yeah.
off of Fordham Road. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Okay.
So I'd be getting shipped up there every summer. I'd be in New York 5 months out the year.
Wow. Wow.
So that's where
Wow.
I first learned hip hop. Like my Uncle Eddie, my grandfather had him young. My grandfather
Mm-hmm.
had a house. If you go up Cedar Avenue, there are
Yeah.
houses up there. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So he had a house with a garage. The
Okay.
garage, he used to make needles for record players, needles and shit.
Yeah.
Like you take diamonds, there's a process to make them
Yeah.
into needles.
Needles.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But those are made out of diamonds. People don't know that. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So he had
Okay.
all the machinery in like it was like a garage right next to the
Yeah.
crib.
Mm-hmm.
So I go up there, man, and his son was like 2 years older than me. Uncle
Oh,
Eddie,
okay.
he had him young. He had a
Okay.
wife who had a hair salon, Benzino, God rest her dead, on Fordham Road. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? She was younger, and he had Eddie. So Eddie was a couple of years. So Eddie, when you go in the basement
Yeah.
of his house wasn't like a finished basement. You know, basements
Oh.
in New York, it's still like
Yeah.
the walls still the rocks.
Yeah.
Like
The
you know
rock.
what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
Like the
Yeah.
Flintstones. You live in it look like
Yeah.
the Flintstones down that motherfucker,
Right.
like better, you know what I'm saying?
Facts.
But
Facts.
but anytime you have a basement like that back in the day, you would decorate it so dope that you wouldn't even
Yeah.
care about the walls and the rocks and
Yeah.
shit. You feel me?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so he had like Bruce Lee posters all up. This was like in
Mm-hmm.
77, probably 76, 77.
Yeah.
He had Bruce Lee posters up, you know, like Mad Bruce, because he used to do karate. And then my dad had you know, he was at the CB radios too. There was a CB radio.
Oh, the radios. Okay.
The
Okay.
CB radios and shit, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
10-4 and all that, like, you know what I mean?
Oh,
So
okay. Okay.
but he had two Gemini turntables,
Oh.
belt driven. You feel me?
Okay.
So
Okay.
so he taught me how to spin on them. You know, Cheryl Lynn's
Yeah.
Tubi Rail,
Mm-hmm.
the Bongo Band, Apache. This
Okay.
song called Sex, Walk Like Sex. Like and he taught me how to spin, and that's when I really fell in love with hip hop. And I took it to Boston. I started out as a DJ.
Okay.
Rock Shock and Ray Dog was my name.
Yeah, I see it. I see the picture. You had the Adidas tracksuit on with the snapback joint, and you had the big turntables and all that on your neck. Yep.
Rock Shock and Ray Dog. So the only thing in Boston really for me was like in the streets. Like I started getting in the hood early. You know what I'm saying? So my father went to jail. I got with these Jamaican niggas and I was from the Shower Posse at the time.
Yeah.
And I was in the Four Corner area of Dorchester, and just like on the line of Roxbury. And so yeah, I got with, I was up under them for like 2-3 years. My father was locked up in the feds. But then I was doing shit for my father, a lot of shit for my dad, you know what I'm saying, in the streets. So it was a balance of I'm out here hustling, selling drugs, street shit, but hip hop, heavy into hip hop. I formed a group called the Almighty RSO. Right?
Yeah, I was just gonna ask you about that. About the RSO, man. Like, tell me how that started, because I always hear you talk about the story and your man Tony Rome and all that. So tell the people how it started.
So Almighty RSO really started, and I felt like it was time for me to start my first rap group, because mind you, I'm always going up to New York and we coming back home with cassettes of like Crash School and niggas in the parks. Niggas used to tape live from the park, so we used to just listen to that shit, in Boston, and like, you know what I'm saying, be on the block. We out there hustling, selling drugs, you know what I'm saying? So it was only right that I started my own group. So I was ready by this time. I watched the movie Wild Style, you know what I'm saying? Crush Groovin', Beat Street, like I was a real hip hop, I love hip hop. So, started a group called the RSO in Four Corners, myself, MC Knox, rest in peace to Kevski and Free Orange Man. Orange Man was probably one of the most dopest freestyle off the top of the head rappers like at that time. Like he was way before his time. He caught a double homie. He's still locked up for that now. He probably got like 30 something years in right now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, free him.
Yeah, so basically we had the group in Four Corners, and 2 times Tony Rome, Fat Pat, they was up in Castlegate, right in Grove Hall, on that block. 2 guys by the name of Derek Corcho and William Goforth. Derek, he was like my OG. Rest in peace to Corcho. Corcho introduced me to William Goforth. William Goforth introduced me to 2 times. 2 times was a DJ. He had a group called the PC Crew. We ended up battling, and then we just formed. Now he was a DJ. He was a doper DJ to me, so I had to kind of like let him be the DJ of the group, because he was doper than me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely.
But I was nice though. Bulletz. I was like, Bulletz. So look, Sucker MCs, right?
Yeah.
All right. So Sucker MCs, it goes boom, bap, 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 boom. All right. So I would take the kick and the snare of the boom bap. I would go boom, bap, boom, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, boom, bap. So you be able to rap on it. Like I'd be able to keep you on beat. You know what I'm saying? So like I was nice with the tables. The only thing is I only had one hand. I only had one. Whereas that a real DJ got both hands. It was my left hand. It was my right hand on an end. I didn't like the fader. I was pretty good, but my mother was so pissed off. Okay, hold on. I ended up doing the turn knob, so I wasn't doing the fader. So I remember my mother, because we used to practice in my room and shit. So my mom was mad as shit. She ended up coming in pissed off, man, and unplugging everything, and had fucked up like the mixer, did something to the mixer. So I ended up getting a turn knob mixer, and I stayed on that. Long story short, RSO ended up rock shit on, real strong organization, whatever you want to call it. We ended up doing a lot. We got signed to Tommy Boy Records. Yeah,
I was gonna ask you this, Zeno, because I want to get into the Tommy Boy, but I want to ask you because I heard you told the story, man. How did you meet Paul C, man? Because I heard you talked about Paul C, and you gave him a lot of love and respect, man. And I heard you spoke about him in a couple interviews.
Man, rest in peace to Paul McCaskey, man. Like, first First of all, this was like 87. So like 88, I was a big Ultramagnetic fan. KRS-One, Ultramagnetic, you know what I'm saying? So shout out to Said G and Kool Keith, man. I just looked on the album, who the fuck was making their beats?
Yeah.
And who was their engineer and where was they recording that? We in Boston, there ain't really no studios for no hip hop. So I'm looking at this shit. I'm like, oh, okay, New York, Studio 1212 in Jamaica, Queens. So I'm like, bet, let's go. So we booked time. I ended up meeting Paul at the studio. He was our engineer. So I was like, yo, you think we get a feature from Said G and them? And we ended up getting a feature. Now, mind you, by this time, the Source wasn't really out like that. You know what I'm saying? Not like that. It was like still kind of like in a very small type shit.
Yeah, it was like the newspaper joint. It was like the letter joint. I remember.
Right. So we ended up doing a track with Ultramagnetic, with Said Kool Keith. We did 2 tracks. Paul C was the one who really taught me how to use the SB1200.
Okay.
See, the SB1200 was the first drum machine to have like time on the pads, meaning each pad had 2.5 seconds of sample time. All together, that's going to be 10 seconds, but it has to be split up. So let's say you want to sample a 10-second sample. You're going to have to sample 2.5, then hit it from where it left off, then hit it from where it left off, then hit it, then loop it.
Yeah.
Before that, you couldn't do that with no drum machine. The Lin drum, the DMX, the 808, the 909, none of that shit. You couldn't sample it like that. The SB1200 was the first one. Now let me tell you about Paul C. So Paul C was so nasty with it. Everybody would take their kicks and snare and they cut them. So a kick would be like, and the snare would be like pat. So boom, tat, boom, 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 tat. So okay, cool. That's the norm. Paul would sample a kick from multiple albums, and he would sample it. The sample would go from the kick to the hi. So it's so you getting all that air by the time you hitting the next pad. You know what I'm saying? So it sounded like a fucking drummer. It's not sounding like a drum machine. Yeah. I want you to go back and listen to Ultramagnetic, or anyone listening, to Give the Drummer Some. Okay. That gotta be one of the best tapped ever. See, he taught the Large Professor. Like Paul C was a fucking monster, bro. Large Pro was a monster. Large Pro come from Paul C's school of Paul McCaskey. Benzino come from Paul McCaskey. He gave me discs and everything for my SB1200. I love Paul. Facts. So we recorded for weeks. So on my birthday, July 18th, we come in, Paul's not there. I'm like, damn, what the fuck is up? So, I know what Paul, so, we starting to get worried or whatever. So his man Mick calls, Paul don't answer. Now, me and Paul been kicking it. Even he come give me, I was staying at the Kennedy Inn. We had had about 4 or 5 guns with us. I mean, we was, you know what I'm saying? And we was about 6, 7, 8 deep and shit. We had like four double rooms. And 4 double rooms. Like niggas was sleeping in double rooms. That's a fact. It's normal for real street niggas to sleep in double rooms. That's a fact. It's only these weirdos who say some shit like that. Yeah. Insecure weirdos who probably didn't have no dads in their life who say some shit about that. So anyways, we're gonna keep the story going. So we had about 3 or 4. So we deep. So we ended up going to like, let's go to Paul's crib. Now I've been to Paul's crib a couple of times. He stayed with his mom and dad, I think his mom. In his crib, but he had the crib, but his shit was in the basement. So he had a finished basement. It was nice in Queens. He had a nice spot. And all his discs in there, like boxes of discs. Now, mind you, he was doing shit for Super Lover C, Eric B, Bismarcky, fucking Rakim, KRS. Paul, at that point, after Paul did that, it started out with just Ultramagnetic. He did a couple of things. He was really Super Lover C's too. He was the producer of Super Lover C. So we ended up going there, man. It was tape all around the fucking place. Now the night before, we was going to Jack the Rapper, which was at the Marriott in Times Square. Okay. We dropped Paul off. I had a van. We had a van because we was deep. We dropped Paul off. So Paul said, "Come in." I was going to get the Funky Chicken from Rufus Thomas. It was an album, an artist named Rufus Thomas, and I was gonna get because we was gonna sample at the hotel. We had the equipment at the hotel. So I went down there and I was like, damn, I said, you gonna come with us? He was like, nah, I'm gonna chill. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna chill. I said, all right. The next day when we came, it was tape all around and mad police. Somebody shot Paul in the head and in the neck.
Damn.
Right? Now Paul's a little like Paul couldn't be 5'6", maybe, fucking 140 pounds, 50, like
Damn.
Paul ain't no gangster nigga, ain't no. So
Yeah.
I don't know what happened because I only known Paul for them weeks I was there. The couple of weeks the week and a half I was there. And they ended up snatching niggas up for that because I was the last one to be seen with Paul C.
Yeah.
So, you know, so I called niggas, had niggas go to the hotel, get the guns, drive back to Boston quick. And they ended up holding me over there overnight, and they questioned a couple of the group members. And they were talking like, yeah, so Benzino went in, and then you heard shots. You know how, you know what I'm saying? They're trying to trick you. But they let me out, you know what I'm saying? It was in the newspapers, man. And I ended up going to his wake. They never found out who killed him to this day.
Damn.
They never found out who killed Paul C.
Damn.
I ended up going to his wake. I never forget, I seen Large Professor sitting on the curb crying like this, man. It fucked me up. I'll never forget that.
Oh, shit. That's crazy. Yo, so Zeno, man.
Yo, Zeno,
Tommy
salute, man. This is my coach, the co-host, man. Roski, salute, man. What up?
Salute, brother.
Yeah, yo, Zeno, I want to ask you, so you was talking about Tommy Boy. So how was it getting the deal with Tommy Boy? Because that was like y'all first big deal at the time.
Man, for us, group from Boston, you know, Dave, at that point, the Source was starting to get a little bit of love. So Dave was brought down to A&R, Tommy Boy, Kevin something. So he came and see us perform. We was open up for Tretch and them. For and we killed it. It was about 700, 800 people there. We killed that shit. And we ended up getting a deal, single deal called One in the Chamber.
Okay.
And One in the Chamber was about police brutality. Like, niggas.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about One in the Chamber because that right there, that was like the song that really, I would say, like, that had the Boston police and everybody uproar about that song, because I heard the stories like how they was like trying to like stop y'all from doing shows in the city. Like, speak about that, Zeno, like the whole One in the Chamber situation.
So you see how like on CNN everybody marching when somebody killed when white cops kill black kids, right?
Yeah,
that was happening way back then in the 80s on a regular basis. On a regular, like, niggas was getting killed by police, white police in Boston for a long time. So we just made a song because two young kids got killed. Christopher Rogers got gunned down by some police under a car. They reached under a car and killed him, 17 years old. Got found not guilty. And then Nathaniel Lackland got shot twice in the back of his head in the Jamaica Plain hallway. Not guilty. And they was shot by white police. So we made a song called One in the Chamber. Basically, like, we ain't, you know what I'm saying? We ain't going out like that. You know what I'm saying? We're not going out like that. Like, we'd rather be judged, you know what I'm saying, by 12 than carried by 6. You know what I'm saying? We blaming back. There's a Netflix called the fifth trial, the fifth trial, you know what I'm saying? And it's about
with the homie from Boston.
All right, that's about a crooked ass cop, Mulligan, then shot at me, chased me all my young career. And he has a whole family up in Boston, the Mulligans, police. He was crooked as fuck, and he ended up getting blammed out. You know what I'm saying? So that movie, I'm not gonna tell you about the movie, but he went through hell. Like you know what I'm saying? Like, went to a bunch of trials, they wouldn't let him go, although like they could never convict him. Like, watch that movie. Like, so we made the song, Tommy Boy put it out, and then we got sued by the police. And then Tommy Boy ended up dropping us and shit because they didn't want to, you know what I'm saying, be part of that. And you know, the dude that owned Tommy Boy was Tom Silverman. And you know, at that time, that was around the time I met Stretch, you know, from the Live Squad, who was with
the Live Squad. I was gonna ask you, Zito, because you got a record. You, Freddie Fox, got a record with Pop, man. Can you please? Because people don't talk about that. Every time you do an interview, they don't ask you about that record, man. So tell the people about that, Zito.
So let me tell you how me and Bumpy Knuckles got close and shit, right?
Okay.
Bumpy Knuckles at that time definitely was, you know what I'm saying, like, niggas don't give Bumpy Knuckles, Freddie his flowers, because that nigga was straight in the streets back then. Like, you know, he was doing boom bap, But that Bumpy Knuckles was in the streets. You know what I'm saying? So we got signed to Flavor Unit after Tommy Boy.
Okay.
And we went on tour. Now we the only Boston group, the RSO. Everybody else really from New Jersey, and I think Fox, Freddie, you know, Bumpy was the only one from New York. So we on tour. We doing the Bible Belt and everything. You know, you go down. You basically do. You go from New York to Philly to Washington, Baltimore, North Carolina, South Carolina. You do the whole shit. You know what I'm saying? All the way down to Florida. So you know, we on tour. We promote Roll with the Flavor. It's a compilation album. Queen Latifah, you know, because Latifah signed us. Her and Shakim. Shout out to Latifah and Shakim. So we on the bus, all of us. So Fox is like the bully, the biggest nigga on the bus, the biggest. You know what I'm saying? So we in DC. So we really didn't know each other. You know what I'm saying? So of course we you know, there's 4 of us. It's me 2 times, Tony Rome, I think Kev. So it must have been 4 of us. It could have been 5 of us. It could have been 4 or 5 of us. So, you know, like, so we pretty deep because it's about 3 vans all together, all right? Just like regular big ass vans and shit. Wasn't no Sprinter vans back then. Niggas be all spoiled. Like, nigga, we was in fucking vans, nigga. You know what I'm saying? So something happened where I think me and Fox had got into it. Fox was like, we on the van in DC, right? So, you know, so Fox, big nigga, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Like, you know, Fox was, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, so I was strapped, you know what I'm saying? So I think I might have, you know what I mean? I might have whipped out or whatever. Fox got off the bus, you know what I'm saying? Now, mind you, you know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't know, it's not like, you know, with me, it was a mutual respect for everybody on there. Like I felt grateful that we was even a part of the Flavor Unit. So I wasn't trying to fuck nothing up, and I surely wasn't trying to beef with Freddie Fox. You know what I'm saying? But that's how it transpired. You know what I mean? I felt bad for this shit because again, you know, it was because after that everybody's you know what I'm saying? It kind of fucked shit up. But Bumpy Knuckles ended up like, yo, like, yeah, I like that nigga. Like, you know, like he was like, yeah, you a real nigga, like from that. And we communicate, say, yo, I want to put you on a record. And I was like, me? I was like, because, you know, with the RSO, I had 2. Tony Rome was dope. You know what I'm saying? I'm not sure if E was with us, but E's dope. Like, you know, I always got in where I fit in when it comes to rhyming, but I always had dope ass niggas in the group who was really spitters.
That's a fact.
So he ended up saying, yeah. I said, you sure you don't want E or Rome to get? He's like, nah, I want you, nigga. I want you to come get on the song with Pac. I was like, what? So I said, all right. So you know, I'm like, he wanted me to come to the studio by myself though. So I'm like, oh, this nigga set me up. Am I getting set up? You know what I'm saying? So look, if the studio was in Power Play Studio in Queens. Okay. Right? It's a famous studio, Power Play Studio. So we ended up going to Power. I ended up going there and I was by myself. You know, I went there by myself and shit. And I pulled up and you know, I'm Dolo. Fox is in it. I swear, this is a true story on my man. He's in the booth with no shirt on, big diesel nigga with a fucking sword, nigga. A sword. Like a sharp ass fucking sword, nigga. Like, you know
you can hear it on the background of the on the record. You can hear the sword.
The niggas for real?
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
I listen to the record. You can hear it when you listening to the record. Like when you say, "Don't fuck with it" with the hook, you can hear the sword.
No, yo, the nigga had so it's just me and him in the studio and the engineer. And I'm like, okay, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, all right. So I go in there and then a little bit later, whatchamacallit, Pac showed up with his brother Mopreme, Alamo. That was Brand Nubian's DJ. And Stretch.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? So we ended up doing the song. I was first. I'm like, I can't even tell you act like I was nervous. And I've never admitted that. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not, you know what I mean? Like keeping it 100. I was nervous because it's Tupac. I already knew Fox is a spitter. I'm like, damn. So I sat down.
What year was that?
This was 94, I think. 94.
1994.
And I'm sitting there, got the piece of paper, I got the #1 joint, and I just was like to myself, I was like, man, fuck that, man. Like, fuck it, you better, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm doing a song with these. Like this wasn't never planned or nothing. So we did the song. They put me first, and then we did the skit. The skit was a drive-by.
Oh,
So the skit's is not on YouTube, and I'm sure Fox got it.
nah.
But the skit is like, yo, put your mask on, Ray. He called me Ray. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like Ray Dog. You know what I'm saying?
Ray Dog,
it wasn't Benzino, it was Ray Dog.
Ray Dog,
He's like, put your mask on, Ray. Hey, yo, Fox, I got. Hey, yo, nigga, boom, 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 boom. All you hear is shots. It's basically, and then it's like, killer, don't fuck with a killer.
Yeah.
The nigga SID produced that. That was Naughty by Nature's producer. Yeah.
Yeah, that beat hard. I'm not gonna lie. That's a hard beat. And Jay-Z ended up sampling that same joint.
Yo, Benzino, talking about Naughty by Nature, because you said 94. That was around the same year Naughty by Nature, they came out with hits. It was like moving Tommy Records. I want to ask you this, right? Because you said something about Tommy Records. How? Because a lot of people talk, you know, because put like this, right? Tom Silverman from Tommy Records. I heard he used to, you know, cheap a lot of artists. Like he didn't really pay artists. Is that true?
All right, so I'm gonna give you a story. So the nigga dropped us. We had to find out on the front page of the newspaper in Boston that we was dropped. So we called him. Now, mind you, the song was doing good. We sampled Mysterious Blackbird's Mysterious Vibes. We produced it. The song was hot. I used substitution. Because, you know, I got that from MC Ocha. You know what I'm saying? Like I told you, like, that substitution beat. You know, because we used to use break beats. Like we would cut break beats at block parties. We was heavy hip-hop niggas and producers. So myself and 2 times, and Hangman 3. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And rest in peace, the great JB. So we was doing Jack the Rapper. Remember I told you we went down there when I left Paul? We went to Tom. Okay, now this is Jack the Rapper a few years later. Who do we see at Jack the Rapper but Tom Silverman coming down a fucking escalator? Remember, this is when the Marriott was in Times Square when they had all them escalators and elevators.
Yeah, I remember that.
You feel me? So he's coming down the escalator. The nigga, I'm about 15 deep. We 15 deep. This nigga tries to turn around and walk up the escalator. We ain't heard from this nigga maybe about a year and a half or something, 2 years.
Wow.
He tries to turn around and walk up the escalator, right? He couldn't do it, then he's coming down. He's like, Ray, listen. Niggas start surrounding him, right? And I tell niggas to chill. He's like, look, man, just at that moment, I swear to God, Jay Prince from Rap A Lot Records is walking down the hallway. He's like, Jay. He's like, hey, Tom, like they know each other. He said, I know the perfect place for you guys. Because he's trying to explain how he couldn't take the controversy, but he's saying Jay loves controversy. He loves this shit. So he introduced us to Jay Prince. And Jay, you know, I'm a ghetto boy fanatic at this point. I'm like, oh, hell yeah. Like this Jay Prince, like, we turn around, Tom's gone. He snuck his ass up out of there. But look, we ended up meeting Jay.
Oh yeah, he gonna come back in.
So you know, cut off.
Yeah, he gonna come back in.
Yeah. Yo, everybody that's in the building, yo, shit is live, y'all. You know, it's a good live, man. We got Benzino in here, man. It's a dope live.
Hit that like button, y'all. Shit is live.
Hit that live, man. Shout out Rock and Bulletz, man.
Make sure y'all go on everybody. Listen, this is all I want y'all to do. Make sure y'all go on everybody chat in this section over here that's live. Tell them to come over to Bulletz, Gotti, and Roski. You understand? Tell them we got an interview, a classic interview going on, man. Come on.
Yeah, definitely. He dropped the links here, Benzino coming back.
He must have I got a call or something like that.
He must be hit off. Hold on. Damn, that was good. We could get good content, big.
Yeah, good content. Yeah, good questions too. Good questions.
It's good conversation right here, big.
Good conversation. Yes, most definitely.
You know, shout out to my brother Roski in the building, man.
You already know, guy. You already know, man.
You know, shout out to everybody that pulled up, man. You know. That's what we do here on the Bulletz Gotti show, man. We put out good content, man.
Yo, Gotti, you froze. You gotta come. Yo, Gotti, you froze. Your screen is froze.
Oh, you see me now?
Yeah, I can see you now. Yeah, you good now. Yeah, you good.
All right. Hold on. Yeah, hold on. waiting for him to come back.
Yeah, make sure y'all go into anybody that's live right now. Tell them to come over here, man. Tell them we got some exclusive content. Tell them Benzino pulled up. He's in the building. So make sure y'all do that, man. You heard? Because we got to, come on. Who doing it like Roski and Bulletz Gotti, man?
Yeah, that's a fact.
Up here.
That's a fact.
And he giving us, exclusive, he giving us, he's talking about stuff he never talk about. He going deep into his roots. He going deep into his childhood. So make sure y'all definitely tune in because it's raw over here. It's raw. It's no favoritism. There's no bias over here. So make sure y'all put it up. Make sure y'all share. Please hit that like button. We got to get this out there. We only got, come on, man. We got 47 people watching. 42.
Yeah.
We only got what? Come on, we only got 38 likes, man. That's the likes should match the numbers, man. Come on, let's get up.
Yeah. What's that like?
Let's get up to 45 likes right now. Come on, Josiah, salute. Josiah, salute.
Shout out to Josiah, man. Smash the like button, y'all. Smash the like button. I'm just waiting for him to come back.
Yeah. He's gonna pull up that.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Salute to everybody that hit the building, man. Salute to y'all, man.
Salute to everybody that's watching.
Yeah, salute to everybody that's watching.
The last of the dying breed. Salute. I see you in a minute. Salute. Where you been? I see you in a minute. Yeah. Salute. You're chilling with love. Salute. Wavy. Salute. Who else in here? My guest, salute. And point guard, salute.
Yeah.
Salute everyone that pulled up.
Oh yeah, here's Zeno back. Hold on.
Oh, he the back. You see he pulled back up.
Yeah, hold on. Let me let him back up. Hold on. What my thing acting like this? Oh, here it is. Let me get him. Hold on. Damn, son. Hold on. Oh shit. I just had it. Hold on. Oh, hey, let me add him back in the stream.
Yeah,
yo, Zeno.
My bad.
Okay, you in this.
But look, just so I can finish that, that's how we got signed to Rap a Lot.
Okay.
Yep, that's how we got signed to Rap a Lot. And that was the last RSO album. That's when the group after that we turned into Made Men.
Yeah, yo, Zeno, let me ask you, man. I want to ask you this, man, because one of my favorite tracks by Nas you produced, the Stillmatic intro, man. I just want to ask you, how was it that just being a part of that history? That's the album that he went back at Jay. The people was showing him mad love for that album. How it felt to do that intro, Zeno?
First of all, that like I said, that's the Hangman 3. Myself, Jeff 2 times, and JB. And JB, you know what I'm saying? Rest in peace to my brother. We've been producing since we was like in the 80s. And we've done a lot of stuff for a lot of artists, but that's our biggest, and we proud of that. We used the Stacy Lattisaw sample, LES. It was Nas DJ is the one that linked that.
Facts.
How LES, me and LES met. So we had to look. So the RSO, we had the Palladium in New York. This is the Palladium. It was Biggie, Mobb Deep, RSO, and Nas. So there's only a few dressing rooms. So we went up. So we deep as fuck. We about 15, 20 deep. Here come Nas, 15, 20 deep. Niggas it was like the niggas is like, get out the dressing room. Niggas ain't, we ain't, so niggas is getting ready to get it in. Like I remember between Roscoe and Wiz, these niggas is like this. Both sides are strapped. You know what I'm saying? We in a small dressing room. And then if it wasn't really for me and LES, like me and LES kind of, squashed it. And ever since then, me and him, that's like my bro. And he's the one that got us the opportunity to get on that album. Now, the crazy thing with that is we use that Let Me Be Your Angel sample, but, she took all the publishing. So it's not like we got a big bag off of that. You know what I'm saying? But just the fact that we really need our double platinum plaque. That's going to make it all beautiful. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, facts. Yo, Zeno, I want to ask you another a history fact, man. Y'all had Kanye on the Made Men album. How was it working with Kanye, early Kanye on that album?
But see, that's a situation where the beat went through somebody and then went through somebody else. Kanye was the nigga at the bottom who did the beat, but by the time it done upstream, that shit's from D-Dot or somebody. You know what I'm saying? Once we found out it was Kanye's beat, it was crazy. Even the Made Men. The Made Men got a song by Kanye, the shit with Big Pun and Mace.
I was gonna ask you about that. How was that working with Mace and Pun, man? Cause both of them was on fire at that time, man.
Yo, like Pun came, did his shit. It was the first time I see how Pun recorded and shit. You know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying, cool ass nigga, real ass nigga, man. God rest Big Pun, man. And Mace, you know, Mace just came in, did his shit. You know, he got his bread, did his shit. It wasn't too much communication with Mace when he came. He just came, did his verse, and bounced. You know what I'm saying? Okay. We did the shit called Is It You? It was like the Deja Vu remix. Most of these songs, and we was giving these niggas big ass bags too. So most of these songs they never came out.
Y'all had Master P on the original. That's crazy. Y'all had Master P on the original, man.
And we got Dionne Warwick to sing on that. I gave her 40 bands to sing and smoked the joint with her.
Wow.
I got to smoke the joint with Dionne Warwick, bro.
That's legendary. That's legendary.
Man, that's crazy, man.
Yeah. Yo, Zeno, so now I want to ask you, like, the source, man. Like, like you and Dave Mays, I'm going to just keep it real. I have every issue with the source. And I'm gonna keep it real. When y'all left, I stopped fucking with the source. I'm gonna just keep it real.
That's all I'm saying, bro. Like, come on, man. Come on, man. You see
y'all
the difference.
The source, the culture. Y'all was the coach of the source, man.
Bulletz, let me ask you a question. Be honest, and I'm just not saying this. You've seen the difference after me and Dave left, right?
Yeah, I've seen the difference. I seen that it really wasn't connected to the culture. Like when I saw when Dave, y'all connected to the culture and the artists, that everybody tried to give Dave a lot of flack because of the Lil Kim joint. But I'm like, y'all gave Five Mics to a lot of great albums. Right. A lot of people they think, just because Benzino was right to self-promote his music because that's his magazine. He did a small
okay, so but you know, me and Kim were real good friends back then. So you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like Bulletz. Let's say you owned a magazine, right?
Yeah.
Let's say there's beautiful women all over, singers and rappers and everything, right?
Facts.
Now let's just say, Bulletz, you know, you might date, you know what I'm saying, a couple of the rappers or something.
Yeah.
A couple of the singers, right?
Yeah.
Like, when it comes time for somebody you date and mics to get rated, you ain't gonna like, you know what I'm saying? Bulletz, come on, Bulletz. Like, we human, Bulletz.
Facts.
That's
we are.
I'm saying, like, people get on that, like with Math Hoffa. You know, I respected Mecca when he said about the integrity because that's what journalists go by, and I gotta respect that. But I'm not a journalist. You know,
that's a fact. Because at the time, yo, Dave, y'all had everybody from Rob Marriott, Elliot Wilson, all these dudes that left y'all magazine was over there working, and they was all doing the journalism. You was just behind the scenes doing the business. You and Dave.
But look at hip hop came from the streets. So if it's too much journalism and too much integrity and too much khaki pants, nigga, then it's not. Then niggas from the street ain't gonna fuck with it.
Yep, that's a fact. That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
I don't understand.
Hip hop came from the streets and raw creativity. What came out of nothing and from the hood and the slums and the gutter. You know what I'm saying? Same slums that we all sold drugs in and played in and went to the store and everything. This is where the fuck this is our homes. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, and I understand a lot of these guys, like, you know, they go to college and they want to show their skills, but what they gotta understand, it's about the artists. The ones that let it be about the artists, to me, are the greatest journalists of all. And not about
they always Zeno, and this is the thing that I always never understood, man. They always try to paint you as the bad guy, because even when you did your documentary, right, and you spoke about the whole thing with Jonathan Schechter and all of them trying to say you was the bad guy, you was coming up there, you really was defending Dave because they wanted Dave out the company. So you was defending your man. You was holding your man's down.
Bulletz, it's 1994. Signed to Tommy Boy. Signed with Flavor Unit. Eazy was about to sign us before he died. Like I told, like the whole different story. All right, right. This is right before the Rap a Lot shit. Right.
Yeah.
Now it's signed to Rap a Lot. We don't deserve a fucking story in my man's magazine, bro. Like
crazy.
That shit is crazy to me, man.
Facts.
Like
Facts.
you know, because I'm thinking about it. I mean, that shit took place in '94, but they all said, Dave, you step down from your magazine right now, or else we're all quitting. The whole staff, like 40 people, it's 30 people.
Yeah. Facts.
Yeah. So Benzino, you just brought up Eazy-E. So how was your bond? How was y'all, how was y'all rapport before he died?
Man, first of all, like Eazy's one of the niggas that, that really, again, this, Boston hopped on a lot of gangster hip hop, and NWA was our shit. You know what I'm saying? That was you know what I mean? That was everything to us, and Eazy was just like one of my motherfucking like rap heroes. So when we had a chance to sign with him, Dave had invited him up to meet me. We met. He had the Samoan bodyguards with him, the two Samoans. So if you see the movie, you remember the Samoans. You know what I'm saying? The big Samoans. They had a group too. They was in a group, the Booyah tribe, but they was bodyguard. It was so big, they was bodyguarding niggas too. So they was and he was with who now I know after watching the movie, this dude named Mike Klein. Mike Klein picture a nigga looking like Steven Seagal with a ponytail.
Oh shit.
And about 6'3" with a fucking a trench on a short trench with like a little mini Uzi in his motherfucking shit in New York City. Wow. He's with Eazy. Now come to find out, that's the nigga from the Jewish Defense League. You understand what I'm saying? So when I'm watching the movie, because Jerry Heller hired these niggas to watch Eazy from Suge. So now, because back then I'm looking at him as just a nigga with Eazy, like, okay, maybe he hired this nigga from New York, but now that nigga was from the Jewish Defense League, like over in So now we met. He said he's interested. He listened to some music. I was up at the office. Then I met him again the next day at the St. Regis Hotel. This time it was just me, Mike, Dave, and him. We had the contracts getting ready to get drawn up. Tom Wally was our lawyer at the time. He's the lawyer of Tupac's estate currently. And we got it. It was a $150,000 deal. This was going to be our first album deal. We was excited. Everybody going crazy. Eazy. He signed Ruthless Records. Then he checked in to see the Sinai. So when he checked in there, I was still talking to him on the phone. He had been there about 3-4 days. We talked. Everything was ready for him to sign. He said, "Don't worry, everything's good." He said, "I said I made a new song. It wasn't no email. I had to send him the cassette because he had a box in his hospital room." So then another week went by, and it was like the next time I talked to him, you could hear it in his voice, like, but he said he had bronchitis. So back then, I'm thinking, he said he had bronchitis, the flu. So back then, niggas wasn't thinking AIDS. I wasn't. 3 days later, Dave told me he passed, man. Then his wife had just signed Bones, and then she didn't honor our deal. Tamika didn't honor our deal.
So that's how y'all got to deal with that's how Steve Stout. Jay Prince.
Steve Stout was before that. We got the Steve Stout deal. We was at
RCA, right?
At RCA. That was right directly after the Flavor Unit situation. When we got on RCA, we did like an EP at RCA. Steve was there. DJ Clue was his intern. I think it was like Clue was the intern. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I've known.
Oh shit!
He probably got a call.
So, Clue was the intern. And hold on 1 second, Bulletz. Hold on.
Okay, Zeno.
Well, that's crazy. I just got an exclusive about Eazy-E. You see?
Smash the like button, y'all.
See, Benzino, he kind of spoke to Eazy-E before his passing. Wow, you see, you don't get those type of bands. Wow, you see, I got to get an exclusive. Wow, y'all would have never thought Benzino, experienced Eazy-E before he died. Wow.
Yeah, smash that like button, y'all.
Yeah, definitely hit that like button. Let's get these likes up. Nigga doing the maintenance. He in the maintenance. He in the maintenance line, so he only making $14,000.
Damn.
Yeah, you make it. They got different positions though. You can make, but the shit I see him at, where he got the outfit, I'm like, oh, this nigga got the outfit of a maintenance. Yeah, he making $14 an hour. Yeah.
He working for Citywide Towing or some shit?
Nah, Citywide. That shit is everywhere. That shit, they got New York, Florida, that shit, Virginia, they got that shit everywhere.
It ain't Florida, he in New York. That landscape don't look like Florida.
Damn. Damn, that's crazy, bro. Yeah. Bitch threw him out the motherfucking spot.
Yo, guy, you know I was gonna ask you, right? Yo, what's up with I was thinking about this shit 2 days ago almost 2 days. Yo, what's up with that? What's up with that that porn star chick, Imani? What's up with Imani, man? You heard of that shit?
Nah, I ain't hear from her, nigga.
Oh shit.
Oh yeah. Matter of fact, hold up. Yo, I forgot to tell you. Yo, Rob. Yo, you fucked that bitch head up, nigga.
Nah, don't say that, man.
Nah, son, the bitch said she trying to get brolic and she trying to be a tranny, nigga.
Come on, man. That girl fucked out, man.
Yeah, Benzino in the building. Hold up, Benzino in the building. Yo, Benzino, what's good, big bro?
Bulletz, Gotti, my bag, baby, we here.
We here. What's good? What's good, family? How you?
How you, brother? You good?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm glad we get to do part 2, man. Part 1 was good, man. Salute.
Oh man, I fuck with you, man. You do. Hey, listen, you did your homework.
Yeah. You already know, man. I tell people, man. I study this game, man. And one thing I respect, like I said on part 1, man, is that you taught a lot of dudes in the industry, man. You don't need the labels. Just get the bag out the labels. And that's what they don't understand, you know.
See, like, you know what I mean, of course, being from Boston, you know what I'm saying? It was like crazy trying to, you know, because Boston's in like New York shadow. Like any city that's kind of, you know, within 200 miles of New York, you know, New York is the hub. So it was hard, you know, it still is hard for dudes in Boston because Boston really ain't got no black radio station. It ain't got no real hip hop radio station.
Right.
So it's a lot of talent in Boston, a lot of dope ass artists, but they don't get to shine because Boston is so, you know, it's racist for one still.
Right.
You know, don't really have any hip hop culture coming off the airwaves. So, you know, back then, I had the Source magazine, so of course it was like, of course we had influence. So, you know, when I'm meeting with people, they're like, okay, this Benzino with his Source and shit, you know what I'm saying? Shit, I would just, you know, one thing I was good at going to the studio and like banging out a couple of dope songs to make more, you know, if I go up there and the A&Rs be like, oh shit, okay, he actually got some dope shit. So, you know, I got deals from Steve Stout, shit, Jay Prince, we got from
Jay Prince,
bro.
Oh, all right, Zeno gonna be back, y'all.
Damn,
think somebody calling.
Man, patience is a virtue, man.
Yeah, shout out to everybody in the building, big.
Patience comes to those who wait, like Fab say, man.
Yeah, facts. Everybody shoot.
Where Benzino at, man? But you know, man, hey, man, I respect it.
Yeah, salute to Benzino, man.
I was about to say, I know these hating ass niggas ain't sad, you know this.
Yeah.
Man, but yeah, man, that's crazy, man.
Yo.
But yo, you know she was talking to Manolo Rose, right?
Yeah, you told me.
She was talking to Manolo Rose. Yo, what's up with the dude? And she was talking to the dude. What's his name? The dude that's from Marcy.
Ammo Smoke.
Ammo Smoke from Marcy, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that good, man.
Let me get this light right. Jesus,
Yo, Zeno,
yeah,
you
so,
back?
you know, it was like I got with Kadar Massenberg, he signed me to Motown, and that's why I put out the Benzino project. And you know that shit right there, man. If you look on I had some of the dopest producers. I mean, well, even before that, I had the Made Men. So you know, we worked with Dame Grease, LES. I mean, I worked with some of the dopest producers in the game. Scott Storch, Teddy Riley. It goes on and on. Manny Fresh. I mean, back then, I mean, really, there was nobody I really couldn't afford. I gave Nas like $70,000 for a verse that I didn't even use on none of my projects.
Yeah. Hey, yo, Zeno, let me ask you, Zeno, because I want to ask you about the movement and unlimited joint, but I want to ask you about Wise Guys. Like how you got the Def Jam deal with the Wise Guys joint?
So I had an idea, and the gang shit was getting out of control. And, you know, I just came up with something. I said, well, look, let me see if I can give back. You know what I'm saying? We was on top, and I figured I had enough influence to go ahead and put a bunch of Boston artists on. A lot of the artists came from all the projects. These are real killers, you know, real gang banging niggas that been gang banging for years. And I figured if I could grab a group from each project, I could come up with something and keep some of all the crazy violence down. So, you know, it worked. We got a deal with Def Jam, we got a distribution deal with my label Surrender Records at the time. And I mean, I was more impressed with you know, one year it was about 100 murders. The next year when we did the project, it was like 30 murders.
Wow.
So, you know, yeah, it's like we really unified the city. And, you know, I mean, it was just a good look, man. Like, you know, all the guys put out music for that time period. They was all living their dream. They was on tour. You know, they was in the Source magazine. I got them, you know, like sponsorship from Avarex and shit. So, you know, we was doing our thing, man. And, you know, I was proud of that project. Myself, Jeff 2 times, rest in peace, JB, the Hangman 3, we produced the whole thing. And it was dope, man. It was dope. It was, you know what I'm saying? You know, and it also saved some lives, you know?
So, Zeno, man, now I want to dial back Source Awards. Like, that first Source Awards is very controversial. You know, Sticky Fingers coming shooting in the air with the hammer. Tupac jumping on stage with Tribe. Like, how was the energy on that first Source Awards in '94, Zeno?
Let me tell you
that was
something.
95, right? That was 94.
No, 94. It started. The first one was 94, then 95. 95 was the one when Suge Knight came on stage and said, if you don't want somebody all in your videos, you know what I'm saying? Come to Death Row. All right? That was the iconic one. But you could really say 94 and 95 were iconic because the 94 one was when Bernie Mac hosted it. Rest in peace to Bernie Mac.
Rest in peace, Bernie Mac.
Yeah, and we did it at Madison Square Garden. It was at the Paramount Theater. It was the first time something like this had even been tried. The only acknowledgement hip hop was getting, which was bullshit, was the one award the Grammys was giving away, and that wasn't shit. So, you know, we was like, man, fuck the Grammys. Still is like fuck the Grammys, and you know, they don't respect our culture, and worse, they don't respect our people. So, you know, we said, look, we gonna come up with the Source Awards and really celebrate, you know, the guys in the street that are all the artists in the struggle, because, you know, most of us are. Most of them were. Most of them still come from that. And you know, anything that you do the first time is always gonna be, you know, it's gonna be some blips. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I remember the lights going out. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? But Bernie Mac was so funny that anything that happened, he just made a joke out of it. It was dope because, you know, Old Dirty Bastard was with the whole Wu-Tang came on with ODB, like all the members. Like that was epic. And yeah, Sticky bust off. I think Sticky busting off was just the energy that he felt. That was the energy. Like everybody was so amped up and so proud to be recognized for this thing called hip hop. I just think that the energy, I don't think he was trying to hurt anybody. I know he wasn't. I just think that the energy was so crazy that he just licked off. And, you know what I'm saying? Tupac when Tribe Called Quest won the award.
Hey, yo, Zeno, I want to ask you about the Tupac thing, right? Because I heard Pac explain the story, and I heard you explain it, and I heard Tip explain it. Like, what happened? Was it the audio guy fault when he jumped on stage? What happened, Zeno? Because a lot of dudes angry about that.
First of all, the first thing when you do something like that, because we done did it a bunch of times. Where you ain't gonna let us rock? Okay, watch this. The first thing you gotta do is regulate the sound man. You gotta see what a sound man is, and 9 times out of 10, they're always away from the stage. You know what I'm saying? They're usually in the audience, off to the side. So Pop must have regulated the sound man first. All right.
Okay.
Because you know, there was the only way he was gonna get the out on bail instrumental up there. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, how else? I mean, the sound man didn't have it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So he regulated the sound man, and I just remember when Q-Tip and them went up there to accept it, they was talking, and Tip had the mic, and he just went up there, and Tip looked like he was like, "What's up, bro?" You know, like Tip pretty much to me. I don't know what Tip said, but Tip pretty much to me was like, to me looked like, "Oh, okay, it's Pop. What up, bro?" And Pop just grabbed it, like, "Let me get the mic." You know what I'm saying? Because I'm sure if Tip would have known that Pop was gonna grab the mic, he just would have let the mic go like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know, but he grabbed the mic and Pop went on stage. He went on with people on the stage. He was on stage with Rest in Peace Fatal, Rest in Peace Big Psych. You know what I'm saying? Rest in Peace Gaddafi. He was on stage. There was 4 men on stage who ain't here with us now.
Fact.
So that particular situation was epic just for that. That there was 4 men. Just think about it. And I even think Stretch might have went on stage with him.
Yeah,
so
Stretch was with him. Yeah, Stretch was with him, Zeno. Yeah. Stretch was definitely with him.
Yeah. That was 5 niggas that ain't here no more. You know what I'm saying? So they did that shit flawless. And you know, I mean, listen, it probably was wrong as far as what happened to Tip, because I was backstage, and when they came back, I remember Chris Lighty hugging on. Okay, it wasn't Q-Tip, and it wasn't Ali Shaheed. Ali looked like he was crying, and I remember Chris Lighty, who ain't with us also, was hugging him. So that's number 6. So that's number 6 right there.
Yeah, that's wild. That's wild right there. Yeah, that's crazy.
Bro.
That's crazy. Hey, yo, Zeno, like now, you know, that was 94. 95, the infamous 95 Source Awards. Suge, Puff, Outkast getting booed. Like, that one was crazy in 94, Zeno.
Hey, I'm telling my partner Tiger here, you know what I'm saying, that my man Tiger right there. You know
Salute.
You know, so me, Tiger, Suge Knight, and Man Robinson, and I'm gonna announce it on your show first. I haven't spoken to nowhere else. I'm gonna give it to you, Bulletz, because I fuck with you. But we're working on the 95 Source documentary right now.
Oh, that's gonna be fire, Zeno. That's gonna be fire.
I've been working on this for the last 3 months, and it's a labor of love because it's my first big project since the Source magazine. And you know, there's so many stories I got, but that particular night, we're calling it the night that changed hip hop forever. And the reason I say that is because hip hop was so influential coming from New York that at that time, that was when Pac was locked up, but that's when the beef was brewing between East Coast and I don't even want to say East. With Death Row and Bad Boy. How about that?
Death Row and Bad Boy,
No, because it really wasn't an East-West Coast beef. Now although each side had major influence through their music, and more so when it comes to the street and violent side was Death Row.
Facts.
Right.
Facts.
So there was a lot of tension that night, and I felt like when Suge came out and said that particular what he said will always be remembered throughout the history of hip hop.
Yeah.
Because nobody people look at that as, oh shit, Suge this and Puff, and here we go. Some people can look at that as the marker of the beginning of the East-West Coast situation. Now when it happened, I was like everybody else. And see, I was with all my Boston guys there because, security, we didn't necessarily have a bunch of police there trying to be security. You know what I'm saying? So,
and you could tell it was hectic in there, Zito, because it was everybody came 100 deep. Brooklyn, Queens, Harlem, Boston, West Coast. It was deep over there.
Nah, but see, and that's where I would like to think that me being Zeno kind of, you know, because Dave and the other guys, they from college. They not from that cloth.
Yeah.
They ain't from that type of cloth. So, you know, I was up in it. Of course, I was strapped 100%. I never got searched. All my guys. I had about 12 guys in there. We had maybe about 6 guns. You know what I'm saying? 6, 7 guns up in there. And, you know, it was a situation where, like, there was mutual respect with everybody. At that time, people had kind of heard about me or knew me or heard about me. And it was just a mutual respect to know that I was with the Source magazine. And you know, for the most part, everybody wasn't trying to come there beefing. I know there was a lot of different situations, like Wu-Tang with Biggie. A lot of people don't know that Wu-Tang and Biggie had differences at the awards, because that's when Biggie came out with that album cover with the baby on it.
Oh yeah, ready to die.
And Raekwon and Ghost felt like it was, you know, like why would you be biting Nas? They was like sticking up for Nas.
Fact.
Because they all from Queens.
Hey yo, Zito, man, I want to say this. Y'all show Nas a lot of love, Zito. Like y'all gave him the lyricist I think he got the lyricist of the year that year.
Listen. There's very few artists that at that time transcended hip hop the way Nas did. What people don't understand, this is just my opinion speaking. This is just from me. All right.
Fact.
When Nas came, I remember Nas from Live at the BBQ. Okay, so to me, Nas wasn't. When I heard him on that, I was like, he's dope. But hip hop didn't transcend into that street hip hop, New York necessarily. Like you didn't really get that. You know, you heard. Okay, KRS came out with Criminal Minded, so I got it from Criminal Minded. But other than that, you really didn't get it from too many other artists when it came to that, like, man, like crack era, gunslinging. It really didn't come across. When Nas came out with Illmatic, it really transcended not just hip hop but New York. You know what I'm saying? And his lyrics on that shit was so, and the production was so flawless. We just felt like it was just only right. Like, I mean, you know, I mean, think about it. You know, when Illmatic came out, nobody heard nothing like that at all in hip hop.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? And then after that came Mobb Deep, and then after that came, you know, New York artists really like, okay, with that street shit, but Nas kind of led the way, and that's just my opinion.
Yeah, yo, Zeno, man, speaking of Mobb Deep, man, y'all, you and Prodigy, man, banged this remix. Like, I mean, you and P did some legendary shit, even on the original Gangsta soundtrack. Y'all really did a lot of great classes together, man. How is it, you know, working with P, man? Because I know, like, that's one dude, man, that you fuck with heavy. I could tell, you know.
Check it right. Rest in peace to one of the most greatest lyricists, rappers out there, but also a lot of people don't understand how intelligent Prodigy was, how intelligent that black man was. And it's sad because I was in Vegas, you know, when he passed. I just got to Vegas, and I remember when they was performing. I was coming with my man Reef. Shout out to my man Reef, Power Move. And I remember when I got with Reef, we went and we could hear Mobb Deep on stage. We could hear him. We could hear him doing Shook Ones. And we pulled up in the rows and shit. I'm like, you know, I just landed. I'm hyped up like a motherfucker. Like, Shook Ones always get a nigga hyped up, no matter what. So I'm all amped up and shit. And I remember I never got to see P. So when I go on, I think Nori brought me on. I think I went on and did Rock the Party.
Yeah.
So I seen Havoc getting off stage, and I waved to him, said what up. Tell P I said what up. And the next day I heard he passed in Vegas. Man, fuck me up. Fuck me up. I was a big fan, major fan of Shook Ones from day one. You know what I'm saying? Mobb Deep, another one that transcended Havoc and their sound, transcended New York hip hop, bro. Havoc's production, you know what I'm saying? And P's lyrics, it'll never be another. And you know, I'm just glad I was able to do music with him because I was so much of a fan of Mobb Deep. I was a fan. You understand what I'm saying?
I can tell, Zito, I could tell when you did the bang to this joint, I could tell you had the Mobb Deep inspired because it sounds so like the Mob when you listen to it big like, Yeah, that sounds so much like some Prodigy Mob Deep shit. And the remix is even fire too.
Bro, and I thank you for that. But man, I definitely 100% Bang to this was inspired by Mobb Deep. 100%. When I went in there, so you gotta understand the Made Men just broke up. And I was like, damn, I'm like, what the fuck am I gonna do? I've never been a solo artist. I'm like, am I gonna give up? Am I gonna quit? And you know, I wasn't doing that. So I remember me, Jeff, and JB. I had a studio in Boston. We went in there. We actually did the beat. That's actually real violinists I brought in. And I brought in. There's a lady on it that goes da, 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 da. That's an actual lady that sings what's that shit what the
that opera shit. That opera shit.
I brought and paid a lady from Berkeley College to come in and sing on that, and I paid these two Asian violinists to come in and play on that, and that was the one that broke me as an artist and threw all kind of bombs on it. But when I heard the beat, I'm like, how would P ride this? And that's just how I approach it.
And Bumpy Knuckles was in the video with you. Y'all both had the big brother.
And look, Prodigy, Mike DeLorean and Bars and Hooks, P and all that was in the video. We did the video at my crib. A lot of people don't know that Jay-Z's baby moms was in the video too.
That's a fact. That's a fact, Zito. That's a fact. She's sitting right next to you. She's sitting right next to you in the chair.
All over the kid. It's nothing.
That's a fact. That's a fact. Yo, Zito, I want to ask you, because you spoke about this on another platform, the Jay-Z issues, man. Like what? How it started, like with Dame and Jay, man. Like I know that
it was only one particular incident. Like Jay is definitely one of my, I'm a fan of his music. I think Reasonable Doubt, one of my favorite albums of all time, no question. Fact. Another one to me that transcended. Another one,
Fact. Fact.
So can't say enough about him. You know what I mean? But this particular moment, they had gripes about a cover, and I can understand the gripes, but once you start getting loud and you in the office, everything they got a little bit loud, and we had a, I had a, what I'm saying, Bulletz, you ain't gonna let nobody come up, you can't let nobody come up and show disrespect. We didn't show Dave. My partner Dave wasn't the type to be yelling and screaming, try to be a street nigga, because he wasn't. And I don't do those meetings. See, when them niggas come in there complain about covers or complain about mics and all, I don't do that shit. I don't do that. I never did that. So I have my niggas up there, and I don't, they probably didn't know it, but what I'm saying, there was always niggas around, ready. What I'm saying? And it got a little loud, and we just had to, what I'm saying, just end the meeting real quick. You know what I mean? But it wasn't like beef with Dame. I got a lot of respect for Jay-Z and Dame for what they did. But that particular moment, what I'm saying, I can't have nobody up at my shit with all that, with somebody trying to boss Dave down. Like, I just couldn't have that.
Yeah. No, I understand that. Hey, yo, Zeno, I want to ask you, going back to the Made Men Unlimited, another classic record y'all had was the Tommy's theme joint. I want to ask you, how was that session do with the Tommy's theme? You had Melissa Ford in the video, the locks, and it was on the Belly soundtrack. Like, how was it working with the locks?
Melissa Ford, me and Melissa Ford, what I'm saying, Bulletz, your boy was the boy back then. So me and Melissa Ford, what I'm saying, she was in the video, and then after that we went out a few times. But I remember when we did the track, Jada and them came up to Boston. And I just remember we smoked so much hash and weed, it was crazy. And we had did the beat, they loved the beat, and man, we killed that shit. To be honest, that's one of my favorite Made Men joints. As far as the video, Little X did the video, and it just was dope. Like, I love that video. You know what I'm saying? Word. You know what I mean? Like, Kiss and them came and killed that shit, but they came to Boston. We all wrote that in the studio together. And that was another time. Anytime where I got in the studio with somebody great, I had to step my greatness up. Like, even with Raekwon, I got a song out there with Raekwon that's great to build. That's crazy. And,
I love that record on the album. I love that record on the Benzino project. That's my joint right there, man.
You gonna make me get emotional, nigga. You know my shit, nigga. That's love, bro. For real. I appreciate that, for real, my nigga. Not because I take pride in my music, and a lot of that might have got lost with all this controversial shit. But I love music, and I'll never stop loving music. I've been doing music all my life. Word.
That's a fact. No, that's a fact, Zeno. That's really a fact. Zeno, like, I want to go back to the magazine again, because you know one thing about the source, and I'm keep it real. It was for the culture, it was for the people, it was for the streets. But a lot of copycats, the double XLs, the vibes, all came behind, and they used a lot of the source writers, because a lot of the writers that was on double XL and on vibe was all ex-source writers. Like, Zeno, how you really felt like them, like, basically copying the style and biting it, and it wasn't even authentic, street authentic, and it wasn't even like it didn't have the aura that the source had.
Well, you know, I mean, we knew that the reason why the source, I think, was great was because it had a nigga from the streets involved with it, and XXL didn't have that. Vibe wasn't on that shit at all. Vibe really was R&B. Like they were the softer side of that. And listen, look, as I look at it now, you know, back then I probably didn't feel like this, but there's always room, you know what I'm saying, when there's always room for more people to be on more covers, because we only could put 12 people a year on a cover, and there was way more artists that was doing their thing. So, you know, when you think about it, you know what I'm saying, there was room for other magazines. As far as Bulletz, when somebody bites you the way that they bit us, they always say that's the greatest form of flattery, and everybody knew. Everybody knew that, you know what I'm saying? Everybody knew that they was just a carbon copy of us. They was our sons. Elliot Wilson was my son. You know what I'm saying? And I don't say that disrespectfully, but they came up under me. You know what I mean? They was in my camp. So a lot of those source guys went out to do amazing things, and God bless them all, shot them all out. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, you know, we was the originators. You know, our name will be forever stamped in history as one of the biggest brands in hip hop. It's sad that for the 50th anniversary, the source isn't being mentioned more, but you know what? You know what I'm saying? If that's how God wants it, then that's how we take it. You know what I'm saying? We know what we did. You feel me? I was there 18 years for almost 200 covers and 7 source awards, 8 source awards. So you know what I mean? Like a lot was accomplished, and I wouldn't change a thing.
Yeah, no, I agree with you, Zeno. I really do agree with you. I feel like what y'all did with the source, a lot of people copied when it comes to the war, how y'all did the award shows, how y'all just did it all, like how y'all basically did it for the culture. And you always deserve your flowers, Zeno, because you stood for the culture. That's what a lot of people don't understand. Like, people have a gripe with you with the Eminem thing, and I'm gonna get to that too about the Eminem situation. Like, I feel that you cared about the culture. Everybody was mad about the Eminem thing, but it was race. It was a lot of racism in it. There's a lot of political shit in it, Zeno, and it was a lot of bullshit because you was exposing dude for what he said about our people and some foul shit in the music. So it was nothing that you did wrong, and the whole industry turned their back on you, which I didn't understand that.
What people don't realize is that I didn't have to take that beef. I was a multi-millionaire, a young multi-millionaire doing my thing. I didn't, but I felt like it was God's calling, because what else was it in me that would want to take it that far? I never try to discredit him as a rapper. He could rap. It's not my type of rap. It ain't my type of shit that I listen to, and that's okay. There's a lot of shit that I don't listen to. That don't mean that they're whack. It just means that it's the type of rap that I don't listen to. You know, the great thing about hip hop is there are many, many different forms of music and different audiences and different styles of songs and different genres of music that rap brings to the table. But what the Eminem thing was, I just was at the top of the food chain, and we meant something. We was important. The source was about politics, and this to me fell right in that. It just wasn't about music. It just wasn't about fashion. It was about all these things, but it was about politics. And I felt like if something that is given to us from the streets and we made it from the streets, I'm just trying to protect it. And that's something. And I felt like I had a platform to protect it. And you know, I'm the type of person that if I go fight a war, if I got a couple of good men, then shit, man, then I could go die. I can go die proud. but when I look behind me, it was just me and Dave, and that's why no matter what me and Dave have ever went through, go through, or what have you, I always loved Dave because Dave stuck by me for that. Now it was solely my feelings, and then Dave felt that I was right. I mean, people were, I felt like shit, man. All these, what I'm saying? Like, we came a long way, and for the powers that be, which happen to be mostly white men, to try to come and make trillions off it and not give a fuck about the people who's doing it, I just felt that wasn't right.
Fact.
And I had a platform, and I used my platform to basically put that out there, and I didn't have to answer to nobody. Bulletz.
Hey, Zeno. I'm sorry for cutting you, Zeno.
No, please.
Ask him about do he think Eminem is a culture? Do you
No,
think
I'm gonna answer that. I'm gonna answer that, Rob. I'm gonna answer that. Hold on. Hey, Zeno, let me ask you, like, when you had the phone conversation, because I remember listening to it on the mixtape, when you had the phone conversation with Paul Rosenberg, and when Paul Rosenberg said that dude didn't want no problems, like, and then when he did the diss track, he tried to like disrespect you and all other bullshit that he did with the whole Boston OGs trying to like shit on your credibility. And I'm gonna say this, Zeno, I seen you get a lot of love from people in Detroit, from his city, the BMFs, the YBIs, and all that in his city. And Detroit got more love for you than they got for him. And he said he's from Detroit, but you got more street love out there. So I didn't understand like why he went so crazy on the records, Zeno.
Well, I used to rock with YBI in the 80s. I used to push that dog food with them niggas. And a lot of and I couldn't say too much, what I'm saying, but my man from YBI, shout out to Pep, wrote his book. After he wrote his book, well, now, I can speak on that. So, I was running heavy with them, pushing that dog food. A lot of my guys from Boston was. And, we formed a bond. And I've been going back and forth from Detroit for years. And you're right, the love I get from Detroit is ridiculous. And, it never was I never doubted that. See, because I knew he wasn't from Detroit. See, Eminem didn't fool me with the Detroit shit, because at the end of the day, just like Boston, there's black Boston, then there's white Boston. You could be from Boston, or you could be from South Boston, and you hate niggas. So it ain't like he couldn't fail me. Like, I'm not stupid. So, it wasn't, you know what? It's not like I got angry back then, because yes, he was trying to critique my, or question my street credibility. And here I am, like, motherfucker, you the last motherfucker to question somebody's street credibility, because you have no clue. You have no idea. Like, you would faint in some of the situations that I was in. Like, literally just anxiety up and just pass the fuck out. You know what I'm saying? You're not cut for the shit I've been through. Like, that's like putting a person who, was an actor all his life and then throw him in the Vietnam War. They ain't gonna be ready for that shit. You know what I'm saying? So, I was young and I was angry, and I had money, and sometimes that right there could be a dangerous cocktail. And I was already doing my thing in the streets, and I had a little army. You know what I'm saying? But one thing about it is, when you got a little army and you got money, you could be unstoppable, and that's what I was back then. You know what I mean? Like, Eminem didn't stop the Source. Like, MIV and them niggas didn't stop anything. Like, they advertisement didn't even put a dent in us. We get Cadillac, McDonald's, fucking Sprite, every AT&T. I mean, you name it, bro. I mean, we, you know what I'm saying? So we wasn't worried about that. But the problem was the rest of the industry just decided that they wanted to turn a blind side, and you know what I'm saying? So be it. You know what I mean? The rest was history,
Yeah, no, that's a fact. That's a fact, Zeno. Hey, Zeno, I want to ask you, man, how y'all got in that the Boston Celtics arena, man, and shot that video, man? I understand you have a lot of power in your city, but that video right there was fire, man.
Hey, Buzz, I parked Bentleys on the parquet floor in the fucking Boston Garden. I still can't believe it, man. Hey, look at, we paid them, I think, $60,000 to do that video, and look at the dude that gave us the clearance got fired.
Wow.
Yeah, he got fired. He got fired. We paid $60,000 to do that, and he got fired. We had the nooses hanging up in the scoreboard, the thing in the middle. We had the Hangman 3 in there. Where we had bras motherfucking dancing, and had the 2 fucking Bentleys parked right by the fucking hoop. Larry Bird didn't even do that, my nigga.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know fucking right.
You fucking right. Hey, I know that little leprechaun is rolling over in his grave now, cocksucker.
Hey yo, Zito. I just want to know, like, when people talk about you in Boston, man, and it's like the love that you get hate and you get love at the same time because you put on for your city, and they always try to go back with the negative, whether it's what happened with the Rough Riders or the pulpit. They never